Get this. I assume the axolotl just eats the algae. Hey guys, it's Sadie here. Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm doing another Reddit video. I guess this is gonna become a thing on my channel. I did one not long ago on the goldfish Reddit. You guys seemed to enjoy that, and I find it quite fun as well. So today, I'm doing the axolotl Reddit, r/axolotls. We're gonna see what's cracking. A lot of crazy stuff on Reddit I have learned. I'm actually pretty new to Reddit, well, using Reddit myself. I've seen other people use it, but I'm pretty new to using it myself, and I just have discovered a lot of bizarre things on there. Oh, I should probably mention in a video, if you're wondering where my last TikTok video went, some of you guys probably can't see it anymore. Well, it's still there, but some of you guys can't watch it anymore. It actually got age restricted. Well, actually, first it got completely deleted, and I got my first ever warning. Like, not a strike. It's like before you get a strike, you get a warning. I got that for the first time in like 10 years of being on YouTube, and then they removed that and instead gave me an age restriction. I don't know why, but my video was just too violent, according to YouTube. So, yeah, you have to be over 18, or your YouTube channel has to be set to over 18 to watch that video now. So, yeah, that's really cool. You should do that to me again. Last time they ended up removing it, but this time I think it's staying. So, very cool. Thanks, YouTube. It's weird. It's like people that do the abuse don't get any punishment, but if I talk about the abuse, I do get punishment. Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, oh, and also I got so many suggestions suggesting me to look at r/aquariums. I think I'll do that next time, but today I wanted to have a look at r/axolotls and see what's on there. My axolotl's sick AF, help. Okay, I like that one. Ugh. It's a pet store. There's just so much poop in there. Like, all of this is like just crumbled poop. Maybe it's food as well. I don't know what they're feeding them. It looks like flakes, kinda. And a lot of algae. Honestly, I've seen a lot worse at pet stores, to be quite honest. There's one pet store close to me that sells axolotls, and they always house them on gravel. I've actually messaged them, like, and politely told them, like, why they can't house them on gravel, and they blocked me, and they still house them on gravel. So, very cool. I was just trying to help. Please help Axie not eating with bump on him. This is interesting. Very skinny axolotl. That's weird. Honestly, like, to me it looks kind of like it's impacted with something, because it's like where its stomach is, right? It looks kind of like there's a piece of gravel in there or something. But potentially it could be something else. It doesn't really look like a tumor to me. It does look like some kind of impaction. Yeah, see, look where it is. I don't know why it's in a cup. And I wonder if they're trying different foods, because there's just a bunch of bloodworms in here. And sometimes they just don't eat bloodworms. Bloodworms aren't very good for them either. It's just kind of a treat food, you know? I'm using API stress coat, quick start, and aquarium salt. Okay. First of all, API stress coat. Don't use that with axolotls. It has aioli in it. Aioli. Aioli? What the fuck? Aloe vera. It has aloe vera in it. I don't know why I said aioli. Aioli stress coat. Tofu, can you stop making that sound? It's rude. Stress coat has aloe vera in it, so it's actually really unsafe for axolotls. It basically creates their slime coat to thicken so much to the point where they can't breathe through it. So it's really dangerous for axolotls. But I don't know if this lump would be the reason why, but it definitely won't be helping it. And I don't know why they're using Quick Start. Quick Start is what you use to help cycle an aquarium. I don't know if Quick Start actually works. I don't think I've ever used that one before. But you don't need to add it every time you do a water change, and you only should be using it if you're cycling. And aquarium salt? I don't know why they're using aquarium salt for an axolotl. Don't use salt for axolotls, guys. I think people tend to forget that axolotls are not the same as normal fish. They don't have scales, their skin is so much more sensitive, and salt is definitely not something you can use with axolotls. But honestly, I don't know about the lump. It could just be some weird genetic thing, like from bad breeding or something. This is a hard one. You probably just have to see how it goes and just keep it maybe tubbed while doing like daily water changes for a bit, especially because you want it to gain some weight because it does look very skinny. I don't know what happened in the end. I couldn't find anything about finding out what the bump is, so it's just, I don't know, it's just very interesting. What? Just got this little guy today. He's our first axolotl. Why was someone selling it like this? It looks like a dwarf, but I think it actually might be short toe syndrome. What I'm thinking. Which is, yeah, because look at his leg. Oh my god, this looks so terrible. How can it even live like this? Sorry. No fault on the person who brought it, but who the hell was selling it, an axolotl in this condition? So in case you're unaware of what I'm talking about, dwarfism is something that axolotls can get. It's kind of like a genetic thing where their bodies are like shorter than they're supposed to be. Usually they have quite a shorter lifespan because of it, and they should never be able to breed. But they can still live happily. You just have to expect them not to live longer, and they could potentially get health issues easier. But this is short toe syndrome, so that's different as well. They do look kind of similar to dwarfs, except you'll notice that their hands are kind of swollen looking, and they kind of look a bit more bloated overall compared to dwarfs. And unfortunately these guys tend to live a pretty painful life, and they don't live very long. Basically, the longer they're alive, the more fluid builds up in them, the more swollen their body gets, and then that can lead to organ failure and more health issues along the line. And unfortunately, there isn't anything you can do about it. You can't treat this condition, you can't reverse it or anything. It's just a really horrible thing for an axolotl to go through, and they should never be sold to someone as a pet. And it's really unfortunate this person ended up with one, because that should never have even been... As horrible as it sounds, it should have been culled a long time ago, and I know that sounds really bad, but they just can't live happily in this horrible condition. And I just don't think it's fair to let them live a painful life like this. And usually they should be humanely euthanized as soon as you find out that they have this condition. And this also shows how inbreeding is a huge problem with axolotl breeders. There is unfortunately a lot of irresponsible breeders. There's a lot of great breeders, don't get me wrong, but there is like quite a large amount of people who get a male and female axolotl, don't realize that they're male and female, and they're usually siblings, and then they end up breeding them. Instead of culling those inbred eggs, they just keep them and raise them, and then they end up breeding again, and it happens a lot. I think by the sounds of it, they're gonna keep it alive, which, I mean, that's really up to you. Maybe they might live happily for a bit, but they will get problems pretty soon. Eventually they probably will have to make that decision to humanely euthanize it. I was going through the comments, and apparently they got this from a really reputed pet shop near me. They usually take really good care of their animals. So yikes, I can't believe a pet store would sell that. They should not be allowed to sell such a deformed animal, and I hope they didn't pay money for it. And I hope this is something to that pet store. But I hope that that axolotl is happy, but he does look very, very bloated and swollen already, so yeah, I don't know. My goodness, look at those long ass gills. That's a pretty axie. Babies, 291 baby axolotls find homes. Send help. This is also a problem with a lot of breeding, is that they have a lot of babies, and there's a lot of people that already breed them, so it can be hard to find homes for all of them. You have to be very prepared for that, and that can be a lot of work. Oh my god, look how long their gills are. Holy crap, that's impressive. Some axolotls just... What? That's amazing. Some axolotls just genetically will have super long like gills, and then some just have short ones. As long as they still have like the fluff, that's fine. That is really cool. What the heck? Oh boy. Okay. Axolotl dead, I believe. That's what it says, and this is the picture. So I thought that the frog actually had the axolotl's head in its mouth, but I think it actually has its arms wrapped around it, like in a mating position, you know what I mean? Because you can see the axolotl's head, and it's just kind of got its arms around it. Where do I even start with this? First of all, why is the axolotl outdoors? I don't think people should be keeping axolotls outdoors. Now, there are certain situations, sometimes it can work, but I really would never recommend it to people. I've seen it being done well by people having like a heated outdoor pond, but you have to heat it in a way without using an aquarium heater, because aquarium heaters are unsafe for axolotls. so you have to heat it some other way. I don't know how. And then predators and stuff, it just doesn't seem to work. These axolotls are captive bred. They've been kind of always been bred in tanks, and that's kind of what they're used to, and they just do way better in fish tanks. And also you can monitor their health better, you can feed them easier. Like, ponds just get too cold or too hot for them, and they really need a stable temperature. They are cold water animals, yes, they do like the cold water, but not when it gets under like 10 degrees Celsius. Like, that's dangerous. Same if it gets over 20, it should be under 20 degrees Celsius. If it starts getting over that, then that's also concerning. But they have it with fish and frogs? Why? Why would you do that? Axolotls should not be housed with any other animals that aren't axolotls. They're just so sensitive and get picked on. Goldfish are so messy. This might be koi, actually. I don't know, koi or goldfish. Messy. Why is there a frog in there? Where did the frog come from? What's going on? Oh, see, someone said it's the mating position for frogs and toads. So when frogs are frisky, frogs and toads are frisky, they kind of grip onto anything. And that probably is what killed the axolotl. Unless it was already dead. It could have been already dead, and then the frog just like gripped onto its corpse or something. Oh wait, here's the rest of it. Came back to my axolotl being strangled by a frog. We couldn't do anything as the frog seemed to literally have wrapped its arms around the axolotl. It's probably dead. We tried to get the arms from out of the axolotl, but we didn't want to kill the frog. His axolotl was dead already. So is it dead or not? You keep saying probably dead, and then it is dead. Just really weird because frogs seem to be vegetarian. Okay, frogs seem to be vegetarian, so why would it try to eat an axolotl? There's tears in my eyes because of how ridiculous this is. Vegetarian? Have you ever seen a frog eat a vegetable? I'm sorry. What? I've just had to leave it half in the water, hopefully it dumps out. I'm sure you could force it off. Honestly, like, if you put some pressure on it and just separate them, you can probably do it. But if the axolotl's already dead, then I don't know. Frogs eat bugs and insects, not vegetables. I've never heard of someone call a frog a vegetarian before. Like, that's the funniest, like, what? It definitely looks like the frog got a wee bit confused and thought that the axolotl was another frog, if you know what I mean. I never feed my fish when it's winter, that's pretty normal. The axolotl doesn't even eat the fish food neither, as I said my friend had the axolotl in their pond and it never come up to eat anything. I assume, get this, I assume the axolotl just eats the algae. The reason why the axolotl isn't coming up for food is because axolotls don't come up for food. You have to actually use tongs to feed them and dangle it in front of their face because axolotls aren't very smart and you have to actually pretty much hand feed them. And they're carnivores, they don't eat algae, so that axolotl must have been just like starving at the bottom of the pond because it's not getting any food. Someone replied saying axolotls are carnivores and they said, yep, I know, but it seemed to be fine eating the algae. Do they know what carnivore means? They don't eat any plant matter. They won't eat it. Yeah, honestly, I'm just shocked by this whole thread. Like, I didn't know people could be that... I don't want to be mean, but there isn't a lot going on in this person's head. My god. What the hell? Like, there's so many people trying to help this person too, but they just keep saying, oh no, you're wrong. This is so crazy. My axolotl has a little bump by its tail. What does it mean? Should I be worried? Congratulations, it's a boy. Hey, don't do that. Tofu. So yeah, I think that's all for this video. Tofu really is having a good time today, isn't he? Well, how are you gonna make those sounds though? Can you make some nice sounds? See, that's better. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if there's any other Reddit threads you want me to have a look at in my next video. Because these are kind of interesting. I see a lot of things that I don't see very often on other platforms. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!